Welcome back, Duane Media, Food, Travel, and Fun. I'm Duane, and I'm back in the kitchen. And I'm going to make a recipe I haven't made in quite a long time, but it's an old favorite and it's a great one at the holidays. And that beeping says my preheated oven is ready. So I guess I should get rolling here. I'm going to make some nice, very ripe bananas. I'm going to make some banana bread. I do it a little different. I've seen a lot of different ways. There are lots of things you can add to this as well. I've added things like raisins, crushed walnuts, blueberries, apples diced up. I mean, you can actually add a lot of things, but today we're just going to do the straight banana bread recipe. My secret ingredient that I like to use is vanilla yogurt. It really gives you that nice moist finish. It really kind of brings it together. So basically, I have all your basic ingredients for baking, your flour, your sugar. In this case, I'm using dark brown sugar. You can use dark or light, your preference. I like the dark, and I try not to mix it in too much. I like to have little spots where there's like sweet spots mixed in. So just the basics, some baking powder, baking soda, a couple eggs. I use a 9-inch bread pan. You can use an 8 or a 9. You can also use 3 or 4 bananas. It's your preference. I think I have a 4th banana. I think I want to add to it. So I'm probably going to use 4 this time. I do recommend using a potato masher to mash up the bananas, but I can't find mine. So I'm actually going to use a spoon that has some holes, mash it down, get it to a point, because you're not trying to get it pureed, you're trying to leave it a bit lumpy anyways, and that'll mash quite well in the mixing bowl. So let's get started. I'll bring you along. Okay, did a little prep. To get started, I'm using just a little sprinkling of some of that vegetable oil. Now I'm using a paper towel. I'm going to spread it around the pan nicely. This can be done with a glass bread pan as well. Just it's going to cook a little faster. So you might have heat to pay a little more attention to. Be able to use the same temperature in the oven, but I would recommend probably cooking it for 5 minutes less than what we recommend when you use a metal loaf pan. So, which is this one. All right, so I stole a little bit of the flour, no big deal. Tap it, tap it, tap it. Put it on its side, tap it. I'll see if I can do this a little backwards for you so you can see it. Boom, boom, boom. Go along. You want to kind of get that flour to spread around. Go along the sides, because that's going to be what helps release everything. All right, I'm just tapping it. It's going right around. And it does. We're not looking for a big heavy layer of flour at all. Matter of fact, this is going to end up being my dry pan. I'll just tap it off, and there you go. See, it's just nice, lightly floured. Set that aside. So, actually, kind of did that backwards. My dry pan is going to be the small one. My dry mixing bowl. So, it's okay. There we go. I switched it. I'm going to start with the wet ingredients. All right, so I'm going to give you a bit of a better bird's eye view. And I'm going to start doing the wet ingredients, which will start with mashing my bananas. So, as you can see, it's very simple as long as they are nice and ripe. So these are just about enough. That one that I just put in there is very ripe. So, a masher does a better job of this. I just couldn't find it, and I still wanted to get this recipe out to you guys. So, as you can see, I'm just mashing away. And it doesn't take too long. I said, you're not going for any type of a puree. Just a good mash. And this is going to get mixed up further as we add the rest of the ingredients. And there you go. Okay, already down to a nice little mash. Works in real easy. Didn't take long. And yes, I went with 4 bananas, and that's gonna be a very strong batch, we'll say. Okay, other wet ingredients. I'm gonna push the bananas to the side. I am going to crack in 1 egg and 2 eggs. I'm going to use my little whisk over here and get these whisking up for you. And you'll see it'll just start to incorporate everything together right here. So now, look at that. See, now it's starting to look like a nice wet mix. So we're gonna really make it wet and add in the 6 ounces of vanilla yogurt. You can use plain yogurt. I don't recommend Greek yogurt, too tart. So I like using vanilla because vanilla yogurt is actually flavored. It's sweet. So since this is a nice sweet dessert type bread, well, there we go. I've got my 3rd cup of oil, which I'll add in right now as well. There's that 3rd cup. We're gonna add in the vanilla. And 1 teaspoon of vanilla is what you're looking for. Oh, there you go, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Cover that up. And I believe I can probably put my little spoon aside and just work with the whisk. Get all of this nice and blended together, incorporating all the parts. And there you go. There's your wet mix. And that's it. Notice it's a nice lumpy consistency. It's not really like overmixed. No beaters, none of those things. Just a hand whisk is the way to go. So now I'll set this aside. And we'll start with the dry ingredients and I'll bring you right back. Okay, so I've put the flour, the 2 cups of flour, into the mixing bowl. I'm going to do, this is all the dry ingredients. Here's the 1/4 cup of granulated sugar. No problem, just start mixing that in. We're going to use a teaspoon of baking powder. Nice level teaspoon. And a teaspoon of baking soda. Half a teaspoon of salt. And a tiny bit of nutmeg. Just, that's it. A little goes a long way when it comes to nutmeg. So these are dry ingredients. Get them mixed up nice. I like to use the whisk. I took the whisk, cleaned it, dry it, reuse it. Yeah, it's because it keeps things simple. And I may have to push this back a touch, but that's it. There's your dry ingredients, all mixed up. Now there's 1 ingredient left out, and that's the brown sugar. So flour you always want to whisk. Brown sugar, when you measure it, you always want to pack it. So I like to put it in last because it's going to go in. Like I said, remember I said I wanted to kind of have a few lumps in there? Well, this is how you got it. So we're going to mix our dry ingredients into the wet ingredients. I'll just dump it in to make it quick and easy and start mixing. You don't want to mix a lot. Like, you want to get it to where it's kind of just mixed. And then once you're at that point, I'm going to hit it with the brown sugar. And here's where you can use your rubber spatula to kind of clean things up as you go, as needed. Not quite there yet. Okay, let me get this. Make sure you got all the dry ingredients incorporated. All right, so for our last step, boom. I'm gonna do away with the whisk and go back to my trusty mixer, my big old spoon. And that is how I get the brown sugar mixed in, but not 100% completely broken down into it. You can see it's darkening it up, and that's part of why it's nice to use the dark brown, so you can see it get everywhere. But as you look in there, you can see lumps of dark brown have held together. Not too many, but it's almost like a little surprise when you go in. So my oven is all nice and preheated up. I'm feeling a big lump somewhere in there. I just want to make sure I don't miss anything too big. Remember, it was packed, right? The brown sugar went in packed. As I feel around, yep, nice. I still see some lumps. Like I said, it doesn't have to be riddled with lumps, but it's nice to have a bunch. Okay. So, just pour it into this pan. Now make sure you never want your pan to really be more than 2/3 full to allow for rising. Right? Everything you make, when you make breads and whatnot, muffins, breads, you always need some space to rise. Let me put this aside and come back and borrow the, I gotta switch my hand around. The rubber spatula, because waste not, want not. And since we made such a nice little batch, that rubber spatula picked up a bunch. And I'm gonna get in the way of the camera for half a second here. Wow, because it's just faster. There we go. And that's it. So into that 350 degree oven, and it's gonna stay in there for 45 to 55 minutes. We're definitely gonna check it at 45, and I use a meat thermometer to get the internal temperature. So you want it to be 190 degrees. It's gonna be browning on the top. It may even have a little split in the middle, which is always quite nice. So let's get it in. So it's been 40 minutes. I pulled it up to the front here. Oh God, that's not ready. Not even close. All right, so there you go. Push it back where it should go. Close that. I'm actually gonna let it go right to 55 minutes. All right, this is looking much better, but I suspect it's still not quite there yet. 180, almost. That's all right, very close. And from the look of it, you can see that's nice. Okay, so it's just about done. I'm gonna say, look, I'll set it for 4 minutes and go from there. So that'll put it just under an hour, but I used 4 bananas instead of 3. So there it is. Just checked it. She looks absolutely wonderful. Alright. Came out. Let's see how we do. Looking for 190. That's about as good as I can find. There you go. A little over 190, a little over 190. Beautiful. She's done. So that is just what I was looking for. Absolutely beautiful. So now you wait about 15 minutes, let it cool. It'll pull in from the sides. and you free it up from the pan. It should come right out. Should be nice. Oh, it feels nice and firm. Very nice. Cooked right through very well. So there it is. I'm gonna finish this up in the morning with Nadia. We're both gonna try it out then, and we will see you in the morning when we get back. Good. Here's this pan, this plate. Ah, yeah, here she goes. There it is. Now the thing I want you to notice, you see the spots where the brown sugar is? That's that spots I was trying for. Oh, it feels beautiful. I'll flip it. And there you go. Oh my God, this smells great. So, alright, well, yeah, thrilled. It's been a while. Oh, it's nice and warm. I almost want to try it now, but I'm gonna wait and have it with Nadia. So, thanks for tuning in. I will see you in the morning and we'll try it out then. Well, good morning everyone. We're back. There it is, all ready. Nice cooled off. And, do you want the end piece?
I like
or
the end piece. The end piece works.
So she's gonna get half the end piece.
Yes.
Okay, well, let's, but before anyone gets any, okay, we'll bring that right up to you. And there it is. Came out very nice. Oh, there we go. Looking good. All right, so there's no nuts, there's no raisins, there's no extras. This is just your standard.
And I like it nut-free, and I don't like raisins.
And let's see if you get a surprise in your bite. I can see a surprise in mine. Not really a surprise, but. So see how, right there.
What is that?
So what I'm pointing to is, let's see if it's right there. It's actually a spot of brown sugar.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's good banana bread, nice and moist.
It's nice and moist.
That's really good. And you know what I like on banana bread? Not everybody does. Zucchini bread, banana bread.
Cream cheese.
Is there anything that's not better with cream cheese on it?
I don't know.
This is probably going to take it to the next level. Yep, it did. Totally leveled up.
Well,
wow, really good.
I like it. It has good flavor. I like I went with a fourth banana. You can
Okay.
do it with 3, but I like the 4th banana. I put the brown sugar in last and mix it slowly. You know how you can always compact brown sugar? Put it in, so it left chunks, spots where it wasn't fully mixed in. And that's how you get like little sweet spots all through it. There you go. Simple enough thing to do, but really a nice addition. I'm actually gonna cut one more last little piece of, just to really get, yeah, sure enough, on the bottom there's a nice, right there, nice spot of sugar. And I know you like your cream cheese, but there you go. If you want to see one last bite of actually just from the middle. See, I got a nice spot in there too.
Well, I'd give the banana bread a big thumbs up.
Absolutely. No, it is. It's great texture.
It's not too sweet, which I love.
It's just the right.
Perfect with tea or coffee.
And there she is. Plenty
Okay.
to share. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Duane and Nadia, Food Travel Fun. Subscribe, like, tell your friends, and we'll see you next time in our kitchen.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks.